Jurassic World Dominion is right around the corner. Set to be the final installment in the Jurassic franchise, Dominion promises to be the biggest and best Jurassic film yet. Bringing back the characters we know and love from Jurassic Park, along with fan-favorite dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus Rex and Dilophosaurus. In fact, we currently know of 33 different species of dinosaurs that will be making appearances in the movie, and an additional 17 species that we do not know of as of yet. But there is one species of dinosaur that we have no idea whether or not will be appearing in the film. It is perhaps the most controversial entry into the Jurassic franchise, the monstrous Spinosaurus. Ever since its infamous appearance in Jurassic Park 3, fans have been wondering if and when we will ever see the sail-backed killer reprise its role. And now, there is new evidence to suggest that the monster of Sorna will be making a comeback in this final Jurassic movie. Today, I will outline 4 different pieces of evidence that I believe point toward a Spinosaurus return in Jurassic World Dominion. The first and most solid piece of evidence for the return of the Spinosaurus in Jurassic World Dominion is that Laura Dern, the actor who plays Ellie Sattler in the Jurassic movies, actually confirmed it. Not directly, however. This is what Laura Dern actually said when asked about the dinosaurs we will see in the film.
It's the reunion, and it's everyone who's ever been in the Jurassic World.
Yes, literally, and every dinosaur and maybe more.
While some may chalk this up to exaggeration, I believe this to be incredibly unlikely. Why? Well, let's take a look at the Spinosaurus itself. It is one of the most well-known dinosaurs in the Jurassic franchise, and it is physically the biggest theropod we've seen on screen, clocking in at nearly 60 feet in length in the film. This can be determined due to the fact that the animatronic used for the film was 45 feet in length and lacked the tail that can be presumed to stretch an additional 15 feet. Being such a massive addition to the franchise, if it were not included in Dominion, you'd think Laura would say something along the lines of, most dinosaurs, or nearly all dinosaurs, are returning. In addition to this, the last movie Laura Dern played a role in for the Jurassic franchise was actually Jurassic Park 3, and one can imagine that the biggest dinosaur in her last movie would be hard to forget about when making a statement of such magnitude. From this, I believe it is almost certain that we will be seeing a return of the Spinosaurus in Jurassic World Dominion. The next piece of evidence I would like to present in regards to the Spinosaurus returning in Dominion is that of Camp Cretaceous Season 4. It has been over 20 years since the Spinosaurus roared into theaters on July 12, 2001, but ever since then, we've been left in the dark on the status of this gigantic predator. Many different ideas and theories have been tossed around to explain where exactly this animal went. Was it still on Sorna? Did it get transferred to Isla Nublar? Was this animal even still alive? All of these questions were essentially left up in the air with no definitive answer. That was until Camp Cretaceous Season 4 finally answered our questions with the return of the Spinosaurus on Manticore Island. This Spinosaurus has been confirmed to be the same animal that killed the Tyrannosaurus Rex over 2 decades ago. How it got to Manticore Island isn't exactly important. What is important is that they brought it back. They answered the question of where the animal is, and brought it back right before Jurassic World Dominion is set to release. I personally believe this is the Jurassic team working to reintroduce the animal into the Jurassic lore after a 20-year-long absence. Doing this allows for the animal to have a place in the story right before Dominion is set to premiere, where the animal would presumably have a sizable role to play in the film. The next set of evidence I would like to examine is that of the prologue for Jurassic World Dominion. In the prologue, we get transported back 65 million years ago to the Cretaceous period and watch dinosaurs wandering about in their natural habitats. But the part of the prologue that I'm the most interested in is the fight between the Giganotosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus Rex. This fight is incredibly interesting because it isn't just any normal fight. I believe this fight is a sort of wink to the audience telling us that the Spinosaurus will be returning in the movie. How exactly did I come to this conclusion? Well, let's examine the fight, specifically its length and how the Tyrannosaurus Rex is killed. From start to finish, the fight sequence goes on for exactly 33 seconds, and at the end of that fight, the Giganotosaurus kills the Tyrannosaurus Rex by snapping its neck. Why is this of any note? Well, let's go back to Jurassic Park 3 and the fight sequence between the Spinosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Watching that fight, we can see that this fight is also exactly 33 seconds in length and ends with the Spinosaurus snapping the neck of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, exactly the same way as the Jurassic World Dominion prologue. I personally believe that this is not a coincidence. I think that this is the movie's way of telling us to hold on and wait because something really big is coming in Dominion. And now for the final piece of evidence, and this is my personal favorite piece of evidence in support of the Spinosaurus returning in Jurassic World Dominion. It is a single line from Dr. Ian Malcom in the trailer right before the Giganotosaurus is revealed. In this line, Malcom says the following:
"Bigger. Why do they always have to go bigger?"
While this line may have initially seemed to be in reference to the Giganotosaurus, as I'm sure was the trailer's intent, I believe that this line was not meant for the Giga at all. How did I come to this conclusion? Well, let's look at the logic behind this. The Giganotosaurus is currently being set up as the movie's biggest antagonist, just like the Indominus Rex of Jurassic World, the Spinosaurus of Jurassic Park 3, and the Rex pair from The Lost World. This means that the cast of characters will have encounters with this animal throughout the movie's runtime. Now, when Malcom says this line, it appears to be towards the end of the movie, meaning two possibilities. Either Malcom never saw this animal throughout the entire movie, or he wasn't referring to it. Because if he had seen it earlier, he would have no reason to say that line towards the end of the movie. In addition to this, I think it's important to point out that the Giganotosaurus is not exactly a lot larger than the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Sure, it is a bit bigger, but not by much. But there is a dinosaur that is a lot larger than both of them, and most importantly, it's something Malcom has never seen before. I believe he is referring to the one and only Spinosaurus. It is something that is absolutely larger than the T-Rex and the Giganotosaurus, and since Malcom was not present on Sorna for Jurassic Park 3, he would have no prior knowledge of its existence. Thus, when he says the line, he is actually referring to an animal that is bigger than the Giganotosaurus. And if this turns out to be true, it means we will see the Spinosaurus show up for the climax of Jurassic World Dominion. When the Spinosaurus was first introduced to the franchise in Jurassic Park 3, it was incredibly controversial. It had killed the king of the dinosaurs, everyone's favorite, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Ever since then, dinosaur fans everywhere have been sharply divided on the topic of Spinosaurus, especially due to the ever-changing nature of the real animal's appearance. But as time went on, hostility towards this animal gradually died down, and in recent times, this animal has become somewhat of a fan favorite. Jurassic fans everywhere want to see this animal return in the movies, be it a short cameo, a rematch with Tyrannosaurus Rex, or a bigger, more important role entirely. And in this final installment of the Jurassic franchise, I believe we will see this animal return. My personal theory is that they are saving it for the climax of the movie, where it will redeem itself for Jurassic Park 3 by saving the Tyrannosaurus Rex after it gets defeated and nearly killed by the Giganotosaurus. But what do you think? Do you think we will see this animal return in Jurassic World Dominion? And if so, what would you like to see it do in the movie? Leave your answers in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and if I ever do another video like this in the future, I'll see you then.